Get in, lads. Welcome back to the Get in Full podcast. My name is Elijah, and today I'm going to be reacting to Jamaica's October squad released earlier this morning at the press conference by Steve McClaren. We're going to go over who's in, who's not in, who should have been in, who should not be in, all those things for the squad today for the Reggae Boyz. So before I get into it, make sure to leave a comment down below your thoughts on this team sheet, what you would change with it, or if you wouldn't change it at all. And then also leave a like if you guys want more Jamaican content from the channel. We got a lot more Jamaican content and concacaf content planned for the next coming weeks, and even like 2-3 years up until the World Cup. So make sure to subscribe for all that as well. Before I give my opinions, I'm going to read off the entire team sheet just in case any one of you viewers don't know who's on the team at all. So we're going to go from goalkeepers to attackers like normal. Let's start with the goalkeepers. 3 of them today: Andre Blake, Shaquan Davis, and Jamali Waite. Typical 3, nothing new there. Defenders, which is really where the biggest differences are. Defenders: Dexter Lemkisa, Deshaun Bernard, Greg Lay, Damian Lowe, John Bell, Richard King, Tavon Gray, Ethan Pinnock, and Mason Holgate, which is the biggest name on this team so far, at least biggest new name in this team so far. Midfielders, we got Casey Palmer, Karoy Anderson, Bobby Reed, Joel Lottie, and Tyreek Magee, who's also a newest addition after a while. And forwards, we got Ronaldo Cephas, Norman Campbell, Mike Antonio, Damari Gray, Kaheem Dixon, and Romario Williams. So there's a lot of new names here, a lot of names that are not here. So we're going to talk about that. Let's kick it off with players who are here instead of those ones who are not. Number 1, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Mason Holgate is here. Now, I don't know about you guys. I know a lot of my viewers will be a little more in tune with the whole Jamaican rumors and whatnot, but I haven't heard anything about Mason Holgate joining the Jamaica squad. So seeing his name on this morning was quite a shock for me. I really was not expecting it at all. And it's a really, really welcome addition, in my opinion. Really, really good depth for Jamaica's defense there. He is a name who I think I would have much rather seen him be involved maybe about 3-4 years ago. He definitely was a lot better player then. Now he's okay. He plays in the championship right now. The past year or two have not been the most forgiving for him. He used to be a starter for Everton consistently, playing 30-plus games a season. Since then, he's fallen off just a little bit. But regardless, for CONCACAF standards, for Jamaica standards, a really, really good signing for Jamaica, and will prove to be really, really good for the depth, especially in like tournaments and whatnot, where you're going to have to be rotating players a lot. In my opinion, depth-wise, I think the defense is the best part of Jamaica's entire system of play. As a result, Mason Holgate just only bolsters that a little bit. And there are some other defensive inclusions here that I really like, particularly Tavon Gray. If you don't know, Tavon Gray plays in the MLS for NYCFC, and he's having a really, really good season so far. Season is almost over, and through that, he's been phenomenal. And it's not like it's his first season. Last season, too, he had a really, really good season for NYCFC, and that right back spot, I'm really excited to see him play alongside, Jamaica center defensive players there in right back. And I don't know if Lembikisa is going to start over him. I do think Lemby should be the number 1 for Jamaica just because he's been around for longer and more consistently and has shown up as a Jamaican player when assigned the task. Tavon Gray has been a part of the team before. This is not his first time. I think he's made 10 appearances, 6 appearances, one of those two. He has been a part of Jamaica before. Lastly, he did play in like June, I think in 2024. This year, he was not a part of the Copa America squad and has not made an appearance since then. So he's part of the squad for the first time since June. Really, really welcome. I really like how Tavon Gray plays. He's really important to NYCFC's side and an entire style of play. So far through the season, I think in the MLS, he has 1 goal and 7 assists. So really, really good output in that fullback spot. So I do think he's going to be a really, really welcome addition here for that defense and should prove to provide some good competition for Dexter, which I don't think Dexter had up until this moment, which is not a bad thing because I do think Dexter is the best right back in that pool. But you get a little bit complacent if you have no competition. If you're not fighting for anything and you feel as though you're guaranteed a spot, he's not going to fight for a lot. So Tavon Gray being there, really, really important. I really, really do like it. He's only 22 years old, so hopefully he really meshes into that role well in that right back spot, and we see a lot more of him moving forward. Another name included here that we haven't seen in a little bit is in midfield for Tyreek Magee, and I really, really like this option. He's a really special kind of player, I think. Really, really unpredictable. You don't know what he's going to do. Really good playmaker. I think he just runs the game well. He knows how to adapt to the game well and knows how to run it well. He is an attacking midfielder for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC in the USL Championship. That is the second division of USA Soccer, for those that don't know. And he's been in wonderful form over the past 2 or 3 months for them. Consistently getting goals and assists, consistently just putting really good performances if he's not getting goals and assists. I'm very happy he's here. I don't know. No, I mean, for sure he's not going to solve Jamaica's midfield problems, which we know is the biggest problem with their whole, run of play, their whole team. The weakest part is the midfield. I say it every single Jamaica video. I'm sure you guys are tired of it by now. but his inclusion is solid. He could drop back just a little bit more, not as much of an attacking midfielder because of his creativity and because of his technical ability. He might be able to drop back a little bit more into that center mid spot. So I think it will alleviate the biggest problems with that midfield, because the best players you had are attacking midfielders in Bobby Decker-Reed and Casey Palmer. It's hard to not play both of them. And if you are playing both of them, it's hard to, obviously you can't include anybody else, and you can't make that midfield that tight and consistent. With the inclusion of Tyreek Magee, I do think that one of them will have to be dropped here and there. I do think he's going to get some game time. I really hope he does. And I hope he's able to change the dynamic of that midfield a little bit more and provide a little bit more output from that midfield, both for the defense help and for the attacking help. Be that link between the defense and offense. Someone needs to do that. I really think he's going to be important here. Only 24 years of age, so I hope he has a really good performance in these 2 games against Nicaragua and Honduras and is able to cement his claim in this team for much longer. Same with Tavon Gray. This is not his first time in the squad. I mean, he has been there before, and he's the one that made 10 appearances so far. So we have seen him around the Reggae Boyz before. I know a lot of people, not necessarily were wanting him to come back. I guess he wasn't a name on the forefront of people's minds, but because of his, form recently and midfield lack of depth and quality, I know a lot of people have been asking for him to come back. Steve McClaren, I'm sure has seen something from him, seen the form he's in, and decided to bring him in. So it's a really, really good sign for other players that are not within this main core of players that we know of, like the likes of Michael Antonio, Demarai Gray, Ethan Pinnock, to get the opportunity to come in and hopefully do something for the Reggae Boyz. Obviously, there's 3 other players too. I think 3, maybe 4 other players that are included that have not been included recently. That's John Bell, Romario Williams, and Ronaldo Cephas. All good players. I do hope Cephas gets more time to play, because I do think he is really, really good quality wise. I just don't think he's been given the opportunity because he is unfairly behind Demarai Gray, Michael Antonio, the attack. So, and the attack is really, really solid. So I do hope that with the exclusion of Shamar Nicholson, he does get more opportunity. And I'm going to use that as a segue into Shamar Nicholson not being here. So personally, I don't know why he's not here. If he's injured or not, or just in poor form, let me know in the comments down below, because I haven't heard a lot about him. I just know he isn't here. So him not being here is interesting. If it's not because injury or something, it's really, really interesting that he is not here in the team, because I would have thought he'd be a shoo-in for this team, which begs the question, maybe he's not just physically fit or something. But I don't know. Like I said, let me know in the comments down below. Educate me a little bit. Another player who is not here, or a couple players that are not here also, no Leon Bailey, because he is so injury prone, and this season he got hurt again. Obviously, he was hurt for the last international window, even though he was called up this season, or this month. He is hurt again. I think it's a different injury this time. We all know Leon Bailey, how injury prone he is, but when he's not, he's so class. But unfortunately, he is hurt, so he will not be here, and we have to wait a lot longer until we see him be a part of the Reggae Boyz side, because we all know what happened last time. So let's see what happens. Another player who's not here is Amari Bell. He also is injured, so he will not be present here at left back. And then the last player of note who is not here, in my opinion, who I think is the number 1 name on Jamaica fans' minds right now, is Mason Greenwood. No reason. I think it's just the papers haven't been processed. He hasn't been able to get the passport, those sorts of things. So him not being here is I don't think there's any issues with him in the federation or anything, or him and the coach, or anything that might put it in, that might prevent him from joining Jamaica anytime soon. I just think it's the papers. That's really all it is. He is not here. A lot of fans were kind of expecting him to be here. I was kind of expecting him to be here. That's okay. Him not being here is fine. I do think this is still a really, really good team against the likes of Nicaragua, which I think they should very much win. And the Honduras game is going to be a little bit tighter, a little bit closer. I would have liked him being here, but him not being here isn't the worst thing in the world. But those are the biggest players not here. 4 key players not here, definitely 100%. I think any one of them would have really helped the team a lot. Unfortunately, they're not here. We do have to wait for them to be a part of the team again. But yeah, that's everybody in the team. I'm really, really excited for these games. Like I said, they play Nicaragua first on Thursday, I believe, and then they play Honduras, I believe, Sunday or Monday, one of those games. Really, really important games. They need to get a foothold and as many points on these games as they can, because they did drop points to Cuba, which was not the worst thing in the world, but you can't be doing that consistently. Nicaragua is a team they should be beating, and Honduras, I think, is a team they should beat for the sake of bragging rights and confidence and whatnot, because they did beat them last time. It was a little bit scrappy. I wouldn't say they deserve the win. It was an own goal and a penalty. I really hope they come out against Honduras a little bit better this time and really show that they deserve to be a top 4 team in CONCACAF and deserve to move on to the 2026 World Cup. If you guys have any opinions on this team or opinions on what I've said or anything, if you want to critique me or praise me or say that you love the channel, please do so in the comments down below. I read every single comment that we get and I reply to as many as we can. Otherwise, we have a lot more concacaf content coming out pretty soon this next coming weeks. Maybe some collabs with a channel that I really appreciate and really like. So we'll see, but make sure to subscribe now and turn notifications on so that you're one of the first people to be alerted as to the videos we release and be the first people to engage with us, comment, and then we can engage with you back. One of the first people and comments and likes and subscriptions, whatever, on our channel. So that's going to do it for me, guys. I hope we're going to see some really good games from Jamaica here. I'm going to try my best to do some reviews and whatnot and previews for the game, so make sure to leave a like if you guys want that. And other than that, we'll see you guys in the next coming videos. Take care, guys.